Obviously a tough loss tonight. Where did Peralta struggle most?
Man, he got behind hitters. He had a hard time executing, and every time he came in the zone, they got him. I mean, there was a lot of hard contact there, but especially when you're getting behind against a lineup like that, you're going to see games like this, you know. So I think it's just more of him getting ahead, trusting all of his pitches, and competing in the strike zone.
Carlos, how do you get this guy right? I mean, it's just been a little bit of an issue here the last few starts.
The same way we did it with Sean, the same way we did it with Nolan. He's too good of a pitcher. I mean, this is a guy that, when you look at his track record, he's been one of the best pitchers in the game. He's going through a little bit of a rough stretch here, but if somebody's able to bounce back after bad outings, he's a guy like Freddy. You know, he's a competitor. He's a guy that's going to come back the next day and look for ways to get better and improve, and that's what we will do.
Other than the control command stuff, is there anything in what he's been doing that strikes you as a reason behind these?
Not really. I think it's just more like getting behind, you know, and then he's got to come in. And obviously, guys know that he's going fastball is his pitch, even though he's been using changeups a lot more against lefties, the sweeper against righties, the curveball. But at the end of the day, you got to get ahead. And 2-0, 3-1 counts. They're going to be sitting dead red on fastballs.
What have you thought of the quality of that fastball when he struggles?
I think what makes him who he is a guy that is going to elevate, and he's going to get swing and misses on that fastball. But if you're 2-0, 3-1, it's going to be hard. He's got to come in the strike zone. So the deal is still there. Obviously, we saw 96, 97, I think he was. But again, he's good hitters are going to make you pay for it.
Carlos, how hard is it to get out of this pattern where you win a couple of games, but then you fail to build off of that when you're not getting quality starting pitching?
I mean, that's the key, right? And that's why we've been having a little bit of a hard time here trying to get some winning streaks. You know, but they're too good. They're talented. You know, like we got to be able to figure this out. You know, we're gonna need them, and when they get going here, and we need them to get going here pretty soon. That's when you start putting together some consistent winning game baseball. So again, they're talented, but they expect more out of them.
Many of the defense, whether it was the second or third inning, kind of stand out too. Whether it was shorts, relay, obviously the Simeon error. Soto appeared to kind of lose that ball in left.
The ball at Soto was over his head. Like he was just trying to dig that runner there. I think we might have a play at the plate on that relay. Then Marcus rushed that throw after making a diving play. So
Sanchez sort of as advertised tonight.
Yeah, and especially when he gets 11-run lead, he's going to get ahead. He's going to use all of his pitches. Yeah, that's what makes him who he is too.
Freddie, what were you most unhappy with your outing tonight?
I think everything in general, but only being able to throw 2+ innings.
I mean, what do you make of your season right now, the way you've performed here?
Before today, probably wasn't that terrible, but today is not good.
And how do you go about fixing it?
I don't know. Just moving forward from this one and just getting some work and make the adjustment.
What's your process when you struggle, when you go through a slump? How have you gotten yourself out of them in the past?
Just focus in the good things and just trying to come back and feel like myself and, forget about the past and just moving forward and trying to become like who really I am and take it that way and just finish in that way through the season.
Do you feel like you've been able to show who you really are this season?
I think I've been a little inconsistent, but I have time to be better.
It's hard to have success when you're falling behind early in counts. What's happening earlier in the at-bats that you think is allowing that to happen?
I think that I have to make better pitches and just be more sun, and that's it, and probably execute better. That's the way that I see. I haven't seen about today much, but I think that some crazy situations and some, but I cannot control some things that happens today. But I also need to be better.
How tough is just that lineup, particularly the top of the order there with Schwarber, Harper?
They are great in general. I think that they are very. The lineup is very they have a little bit of everything, and they have some power in the middle too. They're really good.
Are you at all, worried about the start where you're at in the season, or what is your confidence level?
I'm not worried about it. Of course, I don't feel good, but right now, I'm not worried about that.